Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you how to make whole chicken tandoori in the oven. It makes for a great main course item for parties and also makes for the perfect Indian spiced alternative to the traditional Thanksgiving turkey. Especially if you're not a fan of turkey or are looking for an Indian spiced alternative for your Thanksgiving table. However, we have often made it on weekends just for us, which then gives us plenty of leftovers to make things like tandoori chicken tacos the next day. You can also use the leftovers to make quesadillas, sandwiches, salads. The options are frankly endless and delicious. So let's get started, shall we? For making whole chicken tandoori, you need one whole chicken, and I have used a 5-pound chicken here, but the same recipe and cook time will work for chicken weighing anywhere from 4.5 to 5.5 pounds. For the first marinade to tenderize the chicken, you need 5 tablespoons of lemon juice and 2 teaspoons of salt. For the second tandoori masala marinade, you need half cup of thick yogurt, 4 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste, spice powders which include 3 tablespoons of Kashmiri chili powder, 2 tablespoons kasuri methi powder, 1 tablespoon tandoori masala powder, 1 tablespoon coriander powder, 1 tablespoon garam masala powder, 1 teaspoon cumin powder, and 1 teaspoon chaat masala powder. The second marinade also needs 1 teaspoon salt, which I have currently kept all together here, 1.5 tablespoon of corn flour, and 3 tablespoon of oil. The first step is to clean and prep the chicken for applying the marinade. Here you'll see a change of hands because this is usually done by my hubby, and so he's the one doing it on video too. We always prefer to remove the skin of the chicken, especially for this recipe, and I strongly recommend you do too. You'll need to use a knife to cut the fat in some places, but it'll come off pretty easily as you can see. Alternatively, you can have your local butcher do this for you at the store if they do it. Once you removed most of the layer of fat, check to see if there is anything left. Here you can see there is still some left on the wing, which is removed. However, if you wish, you can keep the fat on the wings, but for this recipe, do take it out from everywhere else. Once the fat is removed, clean the chicken thoroughly inside and out, which we did off camera, and then pat it dry using a paper towel to remove all the excess moisture from the chicken. Once that is done, start making the gashes in the chicken to help the marinade get in as much as possible. It is especially important with a whole chicken to be able to use the gashes to help spread the marinade to all the parts of the chicken, even the meat on the inside, so it gets to absorb the flavor well too. Also, just because I know this question or comment will be made by someone about wearing gloves while handling raw chicken, I want to clarify that we never use gloves for chicken at home. We just ensure to disinfect hands and surfaces well. So that's what we have done in this case too, off camera of course. Once you've prepped the chicken, mix together the lemon and salt and apply this to the chicken to tenderize it, and then let the chicken sit in this mix for about 20 minutes. If you feel like you cannot get the liquid everywhere, you can first apply the mix all over the chicken and then let one side sit in this lemon salt mix for 10 minutes and then flip to the other side for 10 minutes. Then mix together all the ingredients for the second marinade till you get a smooth, thick, paste-like consistency. This should not be watery. Then ensure you've drained out all the excess liquid from the first marinade and apply this tandoori masala marinade all over the chicken, especially in the gashes that you made earlier, and set it aside to marinate in the fridge for about 18 to 24 hours. And I know 24 hours seems like a long time, but if you stay patient, you will realize that the flavor is so well worth the wait. Having said that, in case you shorten time, you can definitely cut the marination time, but I'd still recommend to wait for at least 4 to 6 hours. Once the chicken has marinated well, take it out of the fridge and set it on the counter to thaw for about 30 minutes to let it come close to room temperature before you put it in the oven. At this time, start preheating the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Though before you actually heat the oven, it might be helpful if you rearrange your oven racks so that the rack on which you will place the chicken to cook is positioned right in the center of the oven, just so that there is enough place for the whole chicken to fit in comfortably and everything cooks evenly. Then get the roaster out on which you will set the chicken to bake in the oven and place the whole chicken on it face up. And by face up, I mean that place the chicken on the side you want it to be when you finally take it out. I'm only mentioning this because you will be flipping the chicken twice during the roasting process, so it's simpler to put it on the side you want it out. Then this is optional, but if you want the restaurant-like texture on the surface of the chicken, drizzle a few drops of oil and also sprinkle a little corn flour using a strainer. I have used a simple tea strainer here. Also, if you noticed, I have only sprinkled corn flour and oil on one side. It's not an oversight. I'll come to the second side in a bit. When the oven comes to temperature, put the chicken in the oven for 30 minutes. At the 30-minute mark, take the chicken out and flip it to the other side. Then sprinkle some oil and dust some corn flour on this side as well, and put the chicken back in the oven for another 30 minutes. At the 1 hour mark, take the chicken out again and flip it back to the side you first put it in, and put the chicken back in the oven for another 10 to 15 minutes. Though this final 10 to 15 minute mark is approximate and really depends on your oven. Sometimes an additional 5 to 7 minutes are enough for getting the surface to crisp up and the chicken to cook all the way through. Once the chicken is done, set the roaster on the counter and let the chicken cool down for a bit for about 15 to 20 minutes before you carve and serve. And there you have it, delicious tandoori spiced whole chicken. Serve it with green yogurt chutney, a few lemon wedges, sliced onion, and enjoy! For the written and printable version of this recipe, check the link in the description box below. And if you like this video, please hit the like button at the bottom of this video. It really helps me out. And subscribe if you haven't already. Until I see you again, happy cooking!